What's up everyone, welcome back to a new video on the Alien Algo channel. Today we will be getting into the markets again. So without more having said, let's first start with the general markets. I will explain a little bit about them because I don't know how many of you already know how they work and what they pretty much tell. The S&P 500 is pretty much an index fund with the most valuable companies in terms of market cap, and the 500 tells you the top 500 in market cap. So this is like, if this goes up, most likely the general stock market will also keep trending up. For this, it currently is still at this resistance area where we like to see this getting flipped, and then we can look at new all-time highs, with eventually probably hitting this level before we retrace and get some new sort of crash out of some really weird news, and then everyone will be surprised while the levels have already been there for a while. So the Nasdaq, this is the tech index. So the Nasdaq again means pretty much the tech stocks. The 100 means the top 100. When we look at index, yeah, it's the index. So this is the index of the top 100 most valuable tech companies. So if this goes up, usually tech stocks will do good. When we look at this on a 4-hour, we see this is already at that all-time high vicinity where we are even closer than the S&P. So we would like to find acceptance above this and get a next impulse move up if given, of course. If we reject, we most likely will retrieve a bit lower before trying again. So when we look at the Dow Jones, this I do think is least applicable for most people, where this is the industrial part of the market, meaning the factories, meaning the mines, and those sort of things. So if this goes up, the factories and a lot of industrial stocks will most likely be moving quite nicely. So with these having explained, it's quite clearly I will analyze these at the most basic concept, where we simply look at a key area, and if we flip it, we most likely will get into the next key area, which for the Dow Jones I expect this to be right. It's here. It is if we, okay, let's put this a little bit lower, I see. So I wanted to take this along with it, where we see this pivot, this here again, consolidate, move above, get an impulse, retest, break below, ping pong in between, break again. So if we break this, we most likely will teleport to this area and chop around more again. So the thing most people are here for is, of course, Bitcoin. So let's get into Bitcoin. And I want to keep it a little bit shorter, but I will be explaining some educational parts like usual. So when we look at this, the thing we wanted to see is it getting held above that Monday low. And when we look at this on a daily, it's almost like perfection, but we went below, closed above, went below, closed above, went below, opened. Well, we didn't, well, we did also open, but we got a quick sell-off right below it on the daily open, and we managed to push straight through that previous daily naked POC. Where did this POC of course come from? From this part, where we later filled it here, it became resistance and we moved down from it again. When we look at this on a volume profile level again, yes, okay, the anchor is correct. Here we have a new daily naked POC, which we already hit today. So you see it right here. When I remove this, you see this daily MPOC, this previous one, sitting when we were trading right here. It was sitting right below here, so we wanted to see this getting retest, bought back up to get into this daily naked POC, but we did not get this. We instead got a sell-off and a retest on this level, where we got it flat to the downside. So it's the same exact concept that we used here, we will be implying here. We want to see it break up, find acceptance above, and we can trade into this next daily POC. But of course, we can also reject, where I would expect some retest towards this POC or even the value area low, which is quite closely towards these range highs. So this will be the crucial level to flip, and of course when we look at this on the chart, it's quite clear that we are already experiencing some lower time frame resistance around here. What did we really see? Break above, reclaim, and this is that candle where the daily open happened. And this is the candle right after, where we dipped below, closed above, and we continued towards the upside. Currently, we have had this move towards the upside, and we started compressing a little bit, which we currently seem to be holding. This is a concept known as the Darvas box, where you find a move that occurred on the top side, or it can also of course happen on the downside, where you then spot a consolidation and you play that continuation from this sideways move. So if it's on the downside, you most likely will get a breakdown. If it's on the upside, you most likely will get a breakout. And here we already see this happened within one little candle. So we want to see this getting flipped to the upside to get into that naked POC, which if we turn it on again, we see it is right around that key resistance, so around here. So these will be the levels to look for in terms of BTC, where we either reject from this, trade into this, well, yeah, consolidation, however you want to call it. People call it accumulation, compression, whatever, or just a simple range. So we would like to see it either break up from here, find acceptance like this, or we will reject and trade back into this area before we continue back up. Still leaning more towards the bullish side, but we have to be looking at both sides of the market like usual. So that having said, let's get into ETH. From ETH, we had this major compression where we had the 0.5 level, which of course in previous price action happened to be a point of impulse, where if we break it, we usually just rotate quite quickly towards that 0.75 level. When we lose it, we quite quickly rotate to that 0.25 level. And this of course happens, as you can see, on both sides of the market. We flip it, we move up, we reject, we move down. Quite simple logic. So what happened here? Rejection 1, rejection 2, attempt number 3, and it was successful, flying straight back to those highs. This is currently that 0.75 level, which we are rejecting on, and as you can see, I already pointed it out. This is that previous consolidation area, where we currently want to see a similar logic as I stated on Bitcoin, where this is your lower time frame compression right there. I'm not allowed to draw straight arrows, I see, but you get the idea. This is that area I am talking about, which is correlating with this previous consolidation, right in between, before we broke down massively. So this we also want to see flip, acceptance, and get back up to those range highs. If we don't, and we see, let's say, something like this, we'll most likely be trading back into this area. And even if we get a more aggressive sell, we will most likely trade back into that 0.5 level, which is right around here. So with that having said, let's just look at this on a daily again. Because here you can see I have drawn the expectations I had yesterday, where we of course plan both sides and we take the side which is happening. So we were planning to either reject from this POC, where we get into that value area low, either we sweep it like this, aggressively move back up, retest, and get back above, which we didn't get. And the second option would have been we break this where we deviate, but instead of moving back aggressively towards the upside, we start to chop a little bit, giving some rounding where we just slowly grind down further. But the scenario we got is the one I, of course, liked the most, but we have to be realistic and plan both sides as a trader. So, when we look at this, it was your POC and these previous highs. What happened? We wanted to see break above, retest, hold, move back up. What did we get? Move towards the upside, towards those highs, consolidate and move. And we are already at that value area high. And maybe some guys of you already spotted this, but look at this value area high. Look at the 0.75 level. So when we analyze volume and range manually, it usually will correlate quite nicely. So you see the correlation here between that value area high and that 0.75 level, which has been on my chart since we were even trading right here. So this will quite simply be it. I wanted to keep it a little bit on the shorter side today. So with that having said, guys, I hope you liked the video. And if you guys want me to add anything into this video, like watching certain alts, or maybe I take some stocks through this video, make sure to let me know. Drop it down in the comments. And have a nice day and keep trading like usual. Goodbye, guys.